Hello there, welcome to the October 2020 paper. Here we're looking at question 9. So figure 3 shows part of the curve y equals 3 cos x. The point P, which is CD, is a minimum point of the curve with C being the smallest negative value of x which this minimum point occurs. So that's this point here they're talking about. State the value of C and the value of D. So it's the minimum point. So it's going to be minus 90. So no, this is minus 90. So this is going to be minus 180. And then it's going to be an amplitude of 3 because it's 3 cos x. So D is going to be minus 3. So C equals minus 180 and D equals minus 3. Moving on to part B, state the coordinate of the point to which P is mapped to by the transformation of 3 cos x applying this expression here. So what this is going to do, this is going to be the transformation of f of x over 4. So that means it's going to stretch things outwards by a scale factor of 4. So therefore 180 times by, state the coordinates of P. So P dash is now going to be 180 times 4, that's going to be 720, so it's going to be minus 720, and then the minus 3 will stay where it is. And for this one here, this is going to be moving it right by 36, so that's going to now be at coordinates, so it was at minus 180, now we move it right by 6, so that's going to be minus 180, add 36, that's minus 144, and once again the 3 hasn't moved, so it's still going to be at minus 3 on the y-axis. Let's now move on to part C, solve this equation here. Right, okay, so the first thing I think I'll do, this is quite a long question here, so 3 cos theta, I'm going to rewrite the tan as sine over cos, sine theta over cos theta. And then multiply the cos theta onto the other side, so it's going to be 3 cos squared theta equals 8 sine theta. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the cos squared theta into 1 minus sine squared. Now I've got an equation just with sine in it, and that's much better. Let's expand the brackets. 3 minus 3 sine squared theta equals 8 sine theta. Let's now move the everything onto the right hand side. So I'm going to add 3 sine squared theta. It's also going to be still plus 8 sine theta and then minus 3. So let's factorize this quadratic here. So it's going to be 3 sine theta and sine theta. It's probably going to be plus 3 over here to make the 9, and then minus 1 over here to make the minus 1, so it's now 8, good. So therefore sine theta equals a third, or sine theta equals minus 3. No solutions here, well, no real solutions anyway, so no solutions for that bit there. So now we're just effectively solving sine of theta equals a third in between the boundary from 450 to 720. So sine inverse of a third is going to equal, let's just work out the first solution, sine inverse 1 divided by 3. That gives us 19.47. What I'm now going to do is I'm now going to store this value in my calculator as A. So I'm going to press STO and then the button above it, which is a negative number, but it will store it as A. So let's visualize what's going on with this graph. Now we need to draw the sine graph all the way up to 720 degrees. So that first loop is through 360 and the second loop will be through to 720. So we've got markers here at 180, 360, 540 and 720. So the 450 marker is in between here, and we had an output of 1/3. So actually if we go across, let's go all the way to 720. Now we're only looking in between 450 and 720. There's actually just going to be one solution here, just this solution here. So what I've worked out is that the increase from the base of a 0 going up 19.47 will get us to our solution here. But to get to this solution here, we're going to have to come backwards by that amount from 540. So the answer to this question is 540 minus 19.47, or minus A on my calculator that I've saved it as. I've still got it as my answer actually. So 540 minus answer equals 520.5. That's to one decimal place like it tells me to do in the question. Please make sure you follow these instructions at the top here. If it says to one decimal place, please follow that instruction. You could easily lose a mark if you don't do it to the correct decimal place. So 520.5 is the answer to this question, and it's the only answer to this question. So there we are, that's the answer for question 9 there, worth 8 marks in total. Let's now move on to question 10.